Fleabag Theatre Review Hollywood Reporter. I have a horrible feeling I am a greedy, perverted, selfish, apathetic, cynical, depraved, mannish-looking, morally bankrupt woman who can't even call herself a feminist, confesses the protagonist of Phoebe Waller-Bridge's Fleabag in a moment of drunken insecurity. There's a grain of truth. Anyone who ever suffered through a navel-gazing solo show by a writer-performer with no perspective needs to have their faith in theater restored by catching this slyly brilliant character study. Though good luck scoring, since the show premiered at the 2013 Edinburgh Fringe Festival and went on to play the first of 2 sold-out London runs, Waller-Bridge's subversive sense of humor and multidimensional storytelling have exploded onto a much wider platform, first in the compulsively binge-able expanded from this pithy performance piece, and 2 years later in the sensational, female-driven cat and mouse psychothriller. Backed by heavy-hitter producers including Megan Ellison, Sue Nagle, and Barbara Broccoli, Waller-Bridge makes a New York stage debut that's decidedly no frills yet provides ample cause for rejoicing, leaving no mystery as to why she has emerged as such an exciting talent. Fleabag. It has the pinpoint observational comedy of great stand-up, the fearless honesty and shamelessness of a raw confessional, and the subtlety to draw you in and let you discover for yourself the grief, anger, self-loathing, and guilt, the stealth bomb of emotional devastation that drives this character's flailing attempts to navigate her rudderless life and its messy relationships. On one hand, directed by Vicky Jones, Waller-Bridge's longtime collaborator and co-founder of their company Dry Right, Fleabag is performed on a bare stage, with just a single red chair on a raised dais. But from that austere, for much of the play, Waller-Bridge remains seated, addressing the audience directly and getting up only to demonstrate the occasional bit of tricky physical business, like photographing her vagina in the handicapped restroom at work to send those and other choice selfies to a boyfriend with a seemingly insatiable hunger for visual stimuli. Her own appetite for porn, booze and casual sex is equally hearty. At one point, anyone who has seen the TV series knows the story, which begins and ends with an uncomfortable loan application to keep her struggling small business, a guinea pig-themed CAF and acute, afloat. It's revealed almost from the outset that Boo, her partner in the CAF and acute venture, died. As a solo piece, Fleabag is fully self-contained and satisfying, though admirers of the TV show will have an added appreciation for Waller-Bridge's writing skills in the way she teased out subplots and secondary characters for the screen. Inevitably though, but whether experienced as a compliment or an alternative to its television sibling, this is punchy, ferociously funny and expertly nuanced storytelling by a writer-performer in full command of her singular voice. With second season, our affiliate publications.
Raindrops.